The work begins with felling the tree. In this case, a notch is cut, followed by a secondary cut to create the hinge. It is important that the tree is felled in such a way that it doesn't damage any trees that are being left to grow. Snag avoidance is also important because it adds considerable time and effort to the logging process, not to mention an additional hazard. As with other dangerous activities, the least risky option is taken, which is still risky. Here the dozer blade of the skidding winch is used to clear an old road, which is used to get close to the freshly cut logs. Leaving the chains attached to the sliders on the winch cable helps to increase efficiency. The length of the chains are only adjusted when the log diameters become too long or too short for the chains. Leaving the chains on the sliders allows you to drape them over your shoulders when extracting the cable and hang them from the dozer blade when driving back from the logging deck. Here a snag requires the help of the skidding winch. This was an easily accessible location, so it didn't require a lot of extra time. In difficult to reach areas where redirection of the winch cable is necessary, a snag like this can add a lot of extra time to the process. Running the tractor just above idle and ensuring the winch's PTO shaft has the lowest possible vertical and horizontal angles helps from breaking equipment, which really puts a damper on productivity. Extracting the logs can be made quicker by operating the skidding winch controls from the seat of the tractor. Just before the sliders bind the winch's pulley, the winching is stopped and the dozer blade is raised to keep the butts of the logs from digging into the soil. This reduces the impact of the operation, strains the tractor and equipment less, and keeps logs from picking up unnecessary dirt, which in turn dull solid. Here logs are brought in line with the others in the pile. Backing into the logs with the blade can help align the logs with one another and the pile, if necessary. Chains are unhooked and the power of the tractor is used to untangle them from the logs, reducing the time and effort compared to unraveling them by hand. These small techniques pay dividends in the long run. By leaving the chains attached to the sliders, they can be draped over the blade quickly, leaving them free from interfering with further use of the blade to push and align logs with the pile. Quick disconnect skid steer front loader attachments really help to extend the usefulness of the farm tractor. Here, the bucket was replaced with pallet forks, making fairly quick work with stacking logs. Finally, a truck was hired to pick up the logs from the property and deliver them to the sawmill. This reduced our profits by 20% per load, but was necessary due to the volume of lumber we had cut. Normally, we'd load our own flatbed trailer and drive the logs to the mill, but this was beyond our capacity. In the end, we sold over 50 tons of lumber to the sawmill, provided an environment with more light and nutrients for the hardwoods we are managing for, reduced the pine seed source, and made a slight profit.